Stop the music, please. Thank you.
I aim to please.
What's up, family? Welcome. What's up? It's me, your favorite uncle, your favorite cousin, your favorite brother, your favorite father, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry. What's up? How y'all doing today? If how you look is any indication of how you're doing today, y'all looking great. So I would assume today is a great day. Welcome to the table. You know what it is. You know what we do when we come to this table to sit down, to be able to talk with one another and share and show love and grow together. Today is just going to be a day for us to sit down and dive into some of these deep coaching concepts, right? For us to be able to better ourselves and work on ourselves. So we have a plethora of things laid out for you to enjoy. So just have a seat. Take your seat. Welcome. You know what it is. For those of you who are new, I'm Dr. Larry Smith. I am a certified master life coach and so many other things. That's my title. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. I specialize in helping my brothers. And when I say brothers, I mean African American men from the ages of 18 to 40 who have residue from a trauma that they had in the past. I simply help them move on and live more present lives today, and to recondition their thinking and their being and just live wonderful, excellent, super lives. My business, my practice is Live For You Coaching, and you can go and visit and find out more about that at www.liveforyoucoaching.com. So newbies, welcome. Family, your family now. Family who's been here before, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get into what we do. Now, y'all already know I only ask one thing. What's that? For you to go and subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when I post things. I post things 2 times a week. We're talking Monday and Thursday, so you'll get the content here for you to have for free. This is yours. And then, of course, you can go and follow me on Instagram, on Facebook at Dr. Larry Smith. And you can even reach out to me at Dr. Larry Smith, Dr. Larry at liveforyoucoaching.com. And I can interact with you. There's posts. There are podcasts, there are blog posts, there are videos, there's content free, all kinds of things that you got out there, because my goal, my life mission, what I'm doing, I'm here for you, my brothers, so that we can walk, all of us, no matter what our backgrounds, no matter who we are, no matter how we identify ourselves. I am here to help coach you to move on beyond your trauma into your next level of success. And I know you can do it because you're here and your intentions are good. So welcome. So anyway, today we are going to talk about the coaching model, how we are able to deal and how we are able to heal any trauma. Note my words, any trauma. There is not a trauma that you have experienced or a situation that you are in the present that you cannot heal from. Every trauma is healable. Can I say healable? Healable. Every trauma is healable. You can get over anything. And if you just implement this teaching model, this coaching model, you'll be able to move on forward. Now, my disclaimer is I listen to all kinds of different podcasts. I read all kinds of different books, from Iyanla Vanzant to Eckhart Tolle to Wayne Dyer to Deepak Chopra to Les Brown. I mean, the list goes on and on. I also listen to many different podcasts, and one of the ones that I found fascinating is called the Life Coach School. And the Life Coach School is open here in California with a beautiful, wonderful, master, intelligent coach named Brooke Castillo. And she kind of laid out this model. And in that particular model, it works very well with dealing with pretty much anything. Anything that you can be coached on, it works well. I've tweaked up a little bit of it myself. I've added other things because really these teachings that she offers are universal and they're really beneficial. I learned much of this stuff also going through my master coaching school as I got certified. So it's very useful in general and very powerful if you can apply it and really use it. So today we're just going to have a small meeting together, and we're going to go over it and show you how it works in any circumstances. Okay, so let's say, for example, you have a circumstance, which is an unchangeable thing, something that is going to forever be true no matter when, where, how, why, It is just going to be true. So let's say, for example, there's a past child circumstance. I'll speak from one of my own. Say if you were molested as a child and you experienced molestation, whether it was a family friend, whether it was an uncle, whether it was a cousin, whether it was a stranger, it doesn't matter who. All of that's irrelevant to the story. Other than the fact that you were molested as a child, you experienced that. That is a terrible thing that a lot of black men go through, and we're all not willing to discuss it out loud because for some reason we get a sense of shame and a whole host of other emotions around that particular trauma. But there's quite a lot of African American men, brothers, we've been molested, and we can talk about it. Whether it was from a man or a woman, that's even irrelevant too. It's just the point is it happened. That is the circumstance. That is something in the past that you can't go back and relive. You can't go back and change. You can't go back and redo your decisions and how you reacted to it. You were a victim in that circumstance. That is something that happened to you. It is not your fault. It is not your doing. You didn't want it. It was not something that you deserved. None of that. That is just something that was out of your control. A circumstance that has happened to you in the past, right? And so we recognize that there are things that we can't change, and that's something that you can't change if it's in the past. Now, what happens with that is we begin to have all sorts of thoughts about it. So say, for example, one of your thoughts about that is shame. I feel shame because I was molested as a child, right? I feel shame. And the shame is just, it really bothers me, right? Shame. That is your thought. Your thought about the molestation, the unchangeable circumstance, is shame. And that is what you are thinking. That is how you feel. That is what you carry. That is what you're thinking. Your shame. And of course, that shame, that thought creates a feeling, right? Creates a feeling. And in this particular instance, that feeling might be something of sadness. Sadness, right? You're sad because you are ashamed of what happened to you in your past of being molested as a child. Now, let that sink in because those are three different things. One, you can't change, and the thought is something that you can change, and the feeling is something that is happening because of the thought. So the thought is creating the feeling. Now, before we even go further, gather that. Get that in your consciousness. That, okay, it's not what happened to you that's creating the feeling or even creating the thought. The thought is a choice that you're having about something that's beyond your control. I like to always talk about gravity when I talk about circumstances and unchangeable things. There's no way how, whatever you do, no matter what method you take on this planet, you're going to stop gravity from existing. It's just going to exist. It's just a fact. It's just what happens. And so therefore, things you can't change, things you can't control, you have no reason to even think about them and allow them to burden you. And so what you have control over is everything you think and how you think about something. And so the thinking is what's affecting the feelings. Now, from the feelings, what winds up happening is we take certain actions, right? So for example, because you think of the shame, you think that this is a shameful thing to you. And because your feelings of it are sadness, and it might even be sadness, might be self-pity, might be any type of feelings that you may have, usually one word. Your actions are, I'm just not going to get into any relationships. I don't trust anybody. Your actions is that you don't trust, right? And so people come into your lives and you start building something positive, and then maybe you do something that pushes that person away, or you behave in a certain way that pushes that person away, which is connected to your trust. You don't have trust. Your action is not having trust and ruining relationships, or not even getting or engaging in relationships because of a low trust. And so now what we have is we have your thought of feeling shameful about the circumstance of being molested as a child, and the sadness that comes from that thought now causing you to reject or to not even engage or even to push back and not have trust in relationships. That's a problem because now you have the experience. The result is you're unhappily not in relationships, or relationships you do form aren't successful and they're not working because you're pushing people away or you don't have trust. And so therefore you're experiencing something you don't want. And that experience of you not being able to form healthy relationships or keep healthy relationships is all because of that thought you are having of shame because of that circumstance you experienced of being molested as a child. Wow. It's that deep, right? And a lot of times we are not thoughtful of our thoughts, right? We assume that we're feeling something because of outside circumstances and it's affecting us in a way. Only thing it's affecting is your thought, and the thought is the choice. So in a situation where you were molested as a child, something you cannot control, but then your thinking allows you to feel a sense of shame or guilt or some type of feeling about it, you allow that to become your emotional state of sadness, right? Of sadness, unworthiness, hurt, whatever emotion comes up, anger, whatever. You allow the thought to create these emotions, and from that emotions, that forces you to do things in your life. It manifests itself because our thoughts begin to manifest into our lives. Remember, I always say, believing is seeing. So what you hold on to in your brain, you're going to manifest into your life. And so because of that, you are having a negative experience of having bad relationships. They don't last. You push people away. It's negative. And now your result is you're by yourself. You're alone. You're lonely. You don't have the sense of happiness of being partnered with somebody. And your brain, you might even use that to believe that you're not a person, not a relationship person. Maybe it's surprising. Maybe it's not. How many people I meet and I coach who say, I'm not a relationship person. I'm just not a relationship person. I want a relationship, but I'm not a relationship person. And it's usually stemming back to some thought that they have of some circumstance that they couldn't change in their lives that happened to them in childhood, in adulthood, the day before, things like that. And so they'll say, I'm not a relationship person. And I'm here to tell you, we're all relationship people. Part of the human experience is interacting and engaging and connecting with another person or with more people. We all are, that's how we live. We're social beings. We're created to be social. So if you're feeling you're not a relationship person, then the question I would have is, why? What is your thought about that? And what emotion is it evoking? And where did it stem from? Because there's a stem, there's a circumstance, there's a root, and we have to get to that root. And usually the root is the circumstance, the unchangeable thing. And so what I'm here to present today is to say that the thoughts that you have are your choices. Out of everything, whether it's the circumstance on down to the result, the experience, you are choosing the thought. And just like you can choose to have the thought that you're having, you can also choose to have another thought. So instead of allowing the thought, for example, if you were molested as a child to be, I am shamed, and you allow that thought to be, it wasn't about me, it wasn't my fault, I won't allow it to overbear my life, and I will allow myself to live presently. I am a present being. That this has taught me to live more of a present life. I've gotten a lesson from it. Then it will reflect in how you're experiencing life on a daily basis. See, that is in short how we go about coaching, right? So that's what life coaches do. What we do is we try to get you to focus in on your thoughts, right? Focus in on your thoughts. The story, the whys, the hows, the history, and all that stuff really is irrelevant to life coaches. For us, our job is to get you conscious of right now, immediately, the present, right? So all of the other stuff is really, it's just adding to it. It's just building your story, building your narrative, building your testimony if you're a religious person. And for us, the testimony is irrelevant. For us, our job is to try to understand what you're thinking about it. And how can we fix the thinking, or how can we position the thinking to where it's creating a healthy experience for us and healthy emotions so that we can have a healthy life right here, right now, today. Totally possible. It is totally, totally possible. But what you have to do is you have to be conscious and aware and present to your thoughts. And so on a daily basis, or maybe on a weekly basis, schedule it in that you spend and you take time thinking about what you're thinking. And thinking about what you're thinking and how it makes you feel. And based on how it makes you feel, what is it promoting you or prompting you to do? And what is the experience that you're getting? And you'll find out that that experience is based directly on what you are thinking. Change the thought, change your life. I always tend to say you will have a horrible experience in life with a closed mind. I can promise you that. A closed mind, you will always have a horrible experience. But once you open your mind up and you start to reevaluate your mind and allow different ways of being and thinking to come in, life changes. Life gets better. I know this personally. So my past history of childhood molestation no longer impacts my present. I don't allow it to impact my relationships. I don't allow it to impact my worth. My worth is greater than that. What someone else did that I can't control is not my business. That's their things to deal with. And it's not to say that they can't find healing, because there is healing even there. But it is important that I don't take responsibility for something I didn't have any control over that they did, or how they thought about it, or whatever the case may be. And so that's it. That is it. Right? So remember, there are circumstances, there are things that are permanent, there are things that are facts that can't be changed. What you can change is your thoughts about those things, and those thoughts are going to change or create whatever the emotions that you have about it, which are going to guide and promote the actions that you're going to take, and the overall experience that you have comes from that. That is it. Now, I told you I was going to be good. I told you you was going to like it. So remember to follow me, Dr. Larry Smith, Instagram, Facebook. See more information about this at www.liveforyoucoaching.com. You can email me at drlarry@liveforyoucoaching if you want to be coached, if you want discussion. Go out and get some of the free stuff that we have. There's a lot of free stuff, many more videos you can look at. Go and look at it. Do all of the things you need to do. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.